I'm about to read to you Tiana's Big City Sound. One beautiful fall day in New Orleans, Tiana received a letter. Her cousin Frida was the leader of a band in New York City, and she had invited Tiana to a show. Tiana had never been to New York before. She couldn't wait to hear her cousin's band play. Tiana said goodbye to her mom and Louise. She left Naveen in charge of her restaurant, Tiana's Palace, and boarded a train headed north. Settling into her seat, Tiana got ready for a long ride, but the train was so much fun she hardly noticed the hours going by. Tiana loved watching the countryside from her train car window. She saw rolling hills, bustling harbors, and towing forests. But none of these sights were impressive as New York City. When Tiana emerged from train station, she couldn't believe how many people there there were. She was surrounded by flashing lights. There were bright billboards on every corner, and everywhere she looked, she saw screeching automobiles. Tiana couldn't wait any longer to see her cousin. She reread Frida's letter. She needed to get Harlem, but how? She tried asking for directions, but everyone seemed busy. Finally, a kind stranger pointed her toward the subway. When Tiana arrived at the theater, her cousin ran out to greet her. I'm so glad you're here, Frida said, but I have some bad news. Our usual joint is closing, Frida explained. There aren't going to be any more shows. No more shows, Tiana exclaimed, but surely you can find somewhere else to play. Tiana wanted to help. She promised Frida, the band, that she would find a new venue for their show. First, they went to a popular old theater, but the manager took one look at Frida and her band and said, I'm afraid I'm all booked up, girls. He closed the door before Tiana had a chance to respond. Next day, they took the subway to a local jazz club. I only booked the hottest acts, the owner said. If you hear them play, I know you want to book them, Tiana said. Frida and the band nodded urgently. They held up their instruments. Sorry, I don't have time, the man said, and disappeared into the club. The doorman turned them away. Tana and the band tried the theater after theater, club after club. No one was willing to take a chance for Frida's band. I guess I'll go back to working at my uncle's diner. The guitarist added, playing in the band was just a silly dream. No, Tana said, we can't give up, not yet. Just then, it started raining. The band held their instruments over their heads and raced towards the large library across the street. Tana followed behind. Why couldn't the band catch a break? Thanks for all your help, Tana, Freda whispered as she and her cousin walked inside. They found an open table and sat down. I think we're going to have to give up, said Frida. I just wish I had invited you here sooner so you could have heard us play. We really are the bee's knees. Tiana wished she knew what to do. She got out of her seat and looked out the window. Back home, whenever she didn't know what to do, she would make a wish on an evening star. Even Julie, because of the weather, she could see that star, but she could see the high ceilings of the library main room. The lovely old windows and the neatly arranged tables and chairs, it reminded her of her restaurant and gave her an idea. Quickly, Tan counted the tables and chairs. She calculated the floor space. She grabbed a pencil and paper and started making plans. Then she talked to the head librarian. When the head librarian heard Tiana's idea, she called all her colleagues over. We've been thinking about hosting some cultural nights, she said. This might be the perfect way to get started. Tiana introduced Frida to the librarians. Together, they started planning. That night, long after the library would normally close, it was full of people. When Frida and her band started playing, even more folks crowded in. They wanted to know who was making such amazing music. Tiana wasn't surprised. Her cousin's band was really the bee's knees. After the show, bookers crowded around Frida, competing to get her band to play at their theaters. Other attendees went up to the head librarian asking what they could expect at the library next. Poetry plays and art show. From the library doorway, Tana looked up at the night sky. It was clear and Evangeline shone brightly. Her plan had worked better than she could had dreamed. Once all the people had gone home, Tiana and Frida went to the deli for a late night snack. Thank you, Frida said. We'll never have played the library without your help. I have an idea for the next venue, too, said Tiana. Tiana's Palace, it's the bee's knees.